The Himalayas, a realm of unforgiving beauty, a place where nature reigns supreme, and man is but a fleeting visitor. It is here, amidst the towering peaks and glacial valleys, that legends are born. One such legend, shrouded in mystery and fear, is that of the Yeti, the Abominable Snowman. For centuries, tales of this elusive creature have captivated the imaginations of explorers, adventurers, and dreamers alike. Some dismiss it as mere folklore, a figment of overactive imagination struggling to survive in a harsh and unforgiving environment. Others, however, believe. They cling to the eyewitness accounts, the grainy photographs, and the inexplicable footprints that seem to vanish into thin air. Now, I am embarking on a perilous expedition into the heart of the Himalayas, determined to uncover the truth behind the legend. The Himalayas are as unforgiving as they are beautiful, and I know that every step I take could be my last. The air grows thin as we ascend, each labored breath a testament to the altitude and the weight of expectation. The landscape transforms into a surreal canvas of ice and rock, sculpted by millennia of wind and snow. Prayer flags flutter in the breeze, their vibrant colors a stark contrast to the monochrome backdrop. Our Sherpa guides, their faces weathered by years of harsh mountain life, speak of the Yeti in hushed tones. They tell stories passed down through generations, tales of encounters with a creature of immense size and strength, its body covered in thick, matted hair. Despite their warnings, a sense of excitement, tinged with apprehension, courses through my veins. The Yeti. The name itself sends shivers down the spine, conjuring images of a hulking primal beast lurking amidst the icy peaks. For centuries, stories of this enigmatic creature have been woven into the fabric of Himalayan folklore, passed down through generations like precious heirlooms. To the local people, the Yeti is not a monster, but a part of the natural order, a denizen of the high mountains deserving of respect and even reverence. Some believe it to be a spirit, a guardian of the mountains, while others describe it as a flesh-and-blood creature, a relict hominid that has somehow survived in this unforgiving environment. Tales of the Yeti are as varied as the peaks themselves. Such stories passed down through countless generations have imbued the Yeti with an almost mythical status. It is a creature of legend, a symbol of the power and mystery of the Himalayas themselves. But amidst the folklore and superstition, there are tantalizing hints of something more, something real and tangible. Over the years, there have been numerous reported sightings of the Yeti, from seasoned mountaineers to local villagers. Some have even claimed to have captured the creature on film, though the quality of these images is often grainy and inconclusive. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence comes from Sir Edmund Hillary, the legendary mountaineer who, along with Tenzing Norgay, was the first to summit Mount Everest. The Himalayas beckoned, a siren song of ice and stone, echoing through the corridors of my mind. For years, I had been drawn to the legend of the Yeti, captivated by its elusive nature and the sheer audacity of its existence. This expedition was more than just a pursuit of an elusive cryptid. It was a culmination of years of research, preparation, and an unyielding desire to test the boundaries of the known. My team and I had spent countless hours poring over maps, satellite imagery, and eyewitness accounts, meticulously plotting our course through this treacherous landscape. We assembled our gear with meticulous care, state-of-the-art cameras, tracking equipment, and high-altitude clothing designed to withstand the brutal Himalayan elements. But beyond the technological marvels and logistical planning, there was a deeper, more personal reason for my presence here. Our journey began at the edge of civilization, where the last outposts of humanity gave way to the untamed wilderness. As we ascended, the air grew thin, each breath a precious commodity. Towering peaks loomed above us, their snow-capped summits piercing the clouds like celestial daggers. The landscape was both breathtaking and unforgiving. Glacial streams cut through valleys carved by millennia of ice and stone. Forests of rhododendrons and pines clung precariously to the slopes, their branches heavy with snow. The silence was broken only by the crunch of our boots on the frozen ground and the distant rumble of an avalanche. Days turned into weeks as we ventured deeper into the heart of the Himalayas. Each step forward was a testament to human endurance, a defiance of the unforgiving terrain and the relentless pull of gravity. The air grew thin, each breath a precious commodity, as if the mountains themselves were testing our resolve. The landscape had transformed into a surreal canvas of ice and rock, sculpted by eons of geological upheaval. Towering peaks, their summits shrouded in swirling mists, seemed to mock our progress, their icy breath a constant reminder of the unforgiving environment we had chosen to enter. Our Sherpa guides, their faces weathered by years of harsh mountain life, moved with an innate grace, their knowledge of these treacherous slopes passed down through generations. Despite the breathtaking beauty that surrounded us, a sense of unease began to creep into our ranks. The relentless cold, the physical exhaustion, and the sheer scale of our surroundings took their toll, chipping away at our resolve. Whispers of doubt, once easily dismissed, began to linger in the thin mountain air. The lack of any definitive signs of the Yeti, the very creature we had risked so much to find, weighed heavily on our minds. Had we come all this way, endured such hardship, only to chase a phantom, a figment of imagination born from centuries of folklore and wishful thinking? Even the Sherpas, their faith in the Yeti's existence deeply ingrained in their culture, seemed to share our growing uncertainty. "The Yeti is a creature of the mountains," Dorji finally replied, his voice barely a whisper above the howling wind that buffeted our makeshift camp. "It goes where it pleases, when it pleases. It is not for us to question its ways." His words, spoken with the quiet authority of a man who had spent his life in the shadow of these peaks, did little to ease my troubled mind. That night, as I lay shivering in my sleeping bag, the wind howling like a banshee outside, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched, our every move scrutinized by unseen eyes. And then, as if to confirm my darkest fears, the mountain unleashed its fury. Dawn broke over the devastated campsite, painting the snow-covered landscape in hues of pink and gold. A fragile beauty emerged from the chaos, a stark reminder of nature's awesome power and our own vulnerability in the face of it. The avalanche had passed as quickly as it had arrived, leaving behind a trail of destruction and a silence that was almost deafening. We emerged from the wreckage, bruised, battered, but miraculously alive. Our gear was scattered, tents ripped to shreds, a testament to the raw power of the mountain. Yet, amidst the debris, a glimmer of hope emerged. A heavy silence descended upon us, broken only by the sound of our ragged breathing and the pounding of our hearts. The tracks were fresh, made within the last few hours, their edges still sharp and well-defined. They led from the tree line, winding their way through the snow-covered boulders towards the base of a sheer ice wall. The sheer size of the footprint was awe-inspiring, dwarfing even the largest of our boots. It was a stark reminder of the immense power of the creature that had made it, a creature that had moved through this harsh environment with an effortless grace that belied its size. Dorji, his eyes narrowed against the glare of the sun reflecting off the snow, stood up slowly, his gaze fixed on the trail of footprints leading up the mountain. A surge of adrenaline coursed through our veins, chasing away the lingering fear and doubt. The Yeti, the creature of legend, was real, and it was close. We gathered our gear, our movements suddenly infused with a renewed sense of purpose, and followed Dorji as he led the way, his footsteps sure and steady on the treacherous slopes. The trail led us up a steep, narrow gully, the air growing thinner with each step. The wind howled through the crevices, whipping snow into our faces, as if trying to deter our progress. But we pressed on, our eyes fixed on the footprints ahead, our minds racing with anticipation. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long, eerie shadows across the snow-covered landscape. A biting wind howled through the mountain passes, carrying with it the promise of plummeting temperatures. We pressed on, our spirits invigorated by the fresh Yeti tracks leading us deeper into the heart of the Himalayas. As darkness enveloped the mountain, a palpable sense of unease settled over the team. The air grew heavy, thick with anticipation and a primal fear that whispered of an ancient power lurking in the shadows. We set up camp in the lee of a towering rock face, seeking shelter from the elements. Huddled around a flickering fire, we ate in silence, our eyes constantly scanning the darkness. The temperature continued to drop as the night wore on, the silence broken only by the crackling fire and the pounding of my own heart. Sleep was impossible, every sense strained to the breaking point. We were deep in Yeti territory now, far from civilization. Suddenly, a sound pierced the stillness, a guttural growl that sent shivers down my spine, my hand instinctively reaching for the tranquilizer gun. "Did you hear that?" whispered Dorji, his eyes wide with fear. We had all heard it, the unmistakable sound of a creature far larger than we imagined. Fear propelled me to my feet, trembling with adrenaline and terror. I grabbed my camera and pointed it in the direction of the sound. The darkness was impenetrable. We never saw the creature that night. The growl faded into the echoing silence of the mountains, leaving us shaken. The experience left an indelible mark, a reminder of the raw power beneath the Himalayas' beauty. Our expedition now seemed foolish, even reckless. We had ventured into a realm ruled by ancient forces beyond our comprehension. We sought the Yeti, but found our own insignificance in nature's grand design. As we packed up, the weight of our encounter settled upon us. The Yeti, once a myth, had become all too real, etched into our memories. Did we find the Yeti? The answer remains elusive, shrouded in the mists of the Himalayas.